Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song on day 2,200 and I think 18 consecutive days of singing today. We are really glad you have joined us. Yes, thank you for confirmation. I see my sign holders out there. I am really glad you've decided to join us today. We are in our Minneapolis week. Yesterday was Fall of Freedom, and it's been a really, really great week for really talking, thinking, and singing in social justice mode, which we do all the time in here. But really gathering in community with the folks in Minneapolis who've been having an experience potentially unlike one that we each have had, depending on where we live. It's been really, really moving and strengthening to be able to chat and sing with them and to learn more about their experiences. And today is another one of those days. I'm excited to have in the room with us today singing Sora Harris-Vincent and also Sylvan. And Moon Clemetson hosting. Moon has been a fabulous host for many days this week. Sora and Moon are both in Minneapolis. I want to take a quick sec just to wave a hello to all the folks out there on the live stream. Hello, gang out there on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you for joining us today. Glad you're here. And hello to all of the folks in this room. I see folks from lots of different states and a couple different countries, and I'm really glad that you've chosen to join us today for another day of singing and uplift and thinking. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Moon Clemetson, who opened our week singing for us. And Moon is going to introduce Sora and get us on our way. Thanks, Moon. Everybody wave hi to Sora, Moon, and Sylvan.
Sylvan,
Hi.
look at all these people. Say hi, everyone.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, maybe Sylvan will be our host today.
Say welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, so this is my dear friend Sora. Many of you have seen Sora many times on Daily Antidote. And she's going to lead a fabulous song today. Yeah,
Should
go
I
for
jump
it.
right in?
Jump right
Okay,
in.
hi, everyone. Yeah, this is fun because Moon lives here and we're kind of neighbors, like 15-minute, 20-minute away neighbors. So Moon was like, I'm hosting. Can I come over? And I was like, yes. And we have Moon's brother visiting. Timmy, you want to make an appearance?
Hi.
Visiting from Maine, and Sylvan's in the background. Yeah, a lot of you have probably seen Sylvan grow up over the past almost 3 years. She'll turn 3 next month. And we have another one joining us on May 11th. So this is Juniper, who will be, next time I sing, she'll be baby in arms, which is really exciting because that's how I started with Sylvan in arms. So I'm so excited to see so many faces that are familiar and names and some new people. I have a song that I'm excited to share that I wrote, and I've been doing a lot of like singing about and thinking about kind of resistance protest songs throughout this winter in Minneapolis with the occupation and everything going on. And this was a song that I wanted to sing to myself and to Sylvan that had a little bit more like optimism and happiness in it, because there was such a focus on the horrible things that were going on, and there's like this heaviness every single day, and I was like, okay, but let's think about how incredible this community is. Like, absolutely, I've never felt more proud to live in a place and to call people my neighbors. So this is a song that's kind of uplifting and highlighting the joy that actually has unfolded and is like ripple effect unfolding in Minneapolis. So I will kind of sing each line, and I'll sing through it once, and the chorus and the zipper part are going to be the same tune, and then I came up with 3 little zipper parts, but if I think we'll have time, so if you have things that bring you joy and you want to pop that into the chat, feel free to do that, and you'll kind of get a sense of how to kind of swap out the words. So the chorus goes like this: you gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. Look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy and keep your head high. So that's the chorus. Let's do a line after I'll sing a line and you copy me. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease or time. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy in these
Times.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. The second one is look for the joy in these times of unease. A little like ease, if you want to do a little waterfall part. And then the third one goes, you gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. The last time, you gotta look for the joy and keep your head high. You gotta look for the joy and keep your head high. All together. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy and keep your head high. So here's how the zipper part goes. And if you look in the lyrics section, we'll start with children because for me, that's been one of my biggest sources of joy is seeing how the kids are still showing up every day on the playgrounds and showing up in schools and doing their best to keep each other uplifted. So the joy is in the children, in their laughter and smiles. The joy is in the children, in their laughter and smiles. Yeah, the joy is in the children, in their laughter and smiles. You gotta look for the joy in the children. So how we kind of swap the zipper part out is the joy is in the blah, blah, blah. Someone suggested animals. And then we have to think of two things in their cuddliness, so think of two things that you could kind of swap out. So that's how we'll swap out for the lyrics for the zipper sections. So let's sing that section together and we'll do children. And then we'll move into springtime because now that the flowers are popping up, I feel like there's just like whole energy of new life coming to be. And then I also picked the neighbors because just the sense of neighborly communityness has come together, has been incredible. So let's sing through those zipper parts. The joys in the children. Here we go. The joy is in the children, in their laughter and smiles. The joy is in the children, in their laughter and smiles. Yeah, the joy is in the children, in their laughter and smiles. You gotta look for the joy in the children. The springtime. The joy is in the springtime, in the flowers and sun. The joy is in the springtime, in the flowers and sun. Yeah, the joy is in the springtime, in the flowers and sun. You gotta look for the joy in the springtime. The neighbors. The joy is in the neighbors, lending hearts and lending hands. The joy is in the neighbors, lending hearts and lending hands. Yeah, the joy is in the neighbors, lending hearts and lending hands. You gotta look for the joy in the neighbors. Back to the chorus. Look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. We gotta look for the joy and keep our heads high. Okay, we're gonna do chat. Oh, go over to the chat so you can see the suggestions. We're gonna do in the animals, ever loving and faithful. The joy is in the animals, ever loving and faithful. The joy is in animals, ever loving and faithful. Yeah, the joy is in the animals, ever loving and faithful. You gotta look for the joy in the animals. okay. Carolyn says choir, in the family and friends. Here we'll put those three together. Gotta look for, oh, sorry, the joy. The joy is in the choir, in family and friends. The joy is in the choir, in family and friends. Yeah, the joy is in the choir, in family and friends. You gotta look for the joy in the choir. Community. The joy is in community, in singing and shining. The joy is in community, in singing and shining. Yeah, the joy is in community, in singing and shining. You gotta look for the joy in community. Okay, daily antidote. Joe, we need what else? The daily antidote in gathering together. Should we say that? Okay. We got the joy is in the daily antidote in gathering together. That's wordy. The joy is in the daily antidote gathering together. Yeah, the joy is in the daily antidote gathering together. You gotta look for the joy in the daily antidote. We'll do one more in gardening, and then we'll just combine those two in sharing and singing. Okay. Joy is in gardening, in sharing and singing. The joy is in gardening, in sharing and singing. Yeah, the joy is in the gardening, in sharing and singing. You gotta look for the joy in gardening. Back to the chorus. What is the chorus? I'm now even like blanking on it. Oh yeah, you gotta look for the joy. I was just so deep in the chat. Okay, back to the chorus. Gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. Look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy and keep your head high. Last line. You gotta look for the joy and keep your head high. Phew! I give myself an eye workout by having to like scroll all around. When I'm like, here's a zipper song, put your ideas in, and then I'm like, where's the chat? Thanks everyone for all those fun ideas, and it's great. You can even make suggestions that don't necessarily all go together, but thank you for all those beautiful recommendations and suggestions and singing along.
Thank you, Sora, for this amazing song. You already said some things about the song. Is there anything else that, or should we talk about this winter?
Yeah, this winter in Minneapolis. My inspiration for this song I kind of mentioned already, but I think as a lot of people know, the singing resistance movement that has come out of Minneapolis, shout out to just what that has become and what that is for so many people of just, I mean, similar to the daily antidote in a way, which is like song is coming out of a place of like hardship, hurt, isolation with COVID. And similarly, the singing resistance came out of a place of let's sing to our neighbors who are in their homes. Let's sing to the people who are showing up every single day on the streets, protesting and protecting and standing up for rights. And so that's been amazing to be a part of and to kind of be on the outskirts of and support from a side. And as a pregnant person who has a toddler, it felt like not as much of a safe option to kind of participate in that way. So Sylvan and I got so involved in being donation doulas. That's kind of the role that we stepped into. I'm a doula and a lactation consultant myself, and really networked into a ton of other mom groups and parent groups. And so how Sylvan and I spent the winter in our own form of protest was making postpartum care kits and newborn packages and care kits and driving them all around the cities, dropping them off to families who weren't going to prenatal appointments or who weren't feeling safe to go, out to stores to buy their own items, who weren't having baby showers and therefore not having any items, whose partners were taken and so income all of a sudden went to zero and they couldn't, get necessary items. So Sylvan and I have,
Mommy, do you this milk?
this is a clear one, so it doesn't work. Sylvan and I have we've just been collecting donations, both monetary to buy stuff and then also like physical items, and have just put together dozens and dozens and dozens of care kits that we've dropped off everywhere. And my wife, who stays home with Sylvan full time, I would just load her car up and be like, all right, here's where I need you to go today. I need you to drop these 18 bags off to families. So that was our form of resistance and protest and contribution and support. It's still going on. There's still people having babies, people who need things. Actually, one of my projects tomorrow is my garage is like filled with like 30 bins of well-organized donation items, and a group of doulas and midwives is coming over and helping me unload it so that when I'm in my own postpartum period, I don't need to be, driving around giving out diapers and wipes to people, so I can kind of pass that task on. So that has been kind of our role in this whole situation. And, like spring is here, it's beautiful, it feels much safer to be on the streets and be participating in community. And also the ripple effects of the hurt are still very much present. And there's families having to, decide what to do now that their families are torn apart and someone's been deported, and do they stay and have their children here and find ways to get tapped into resources, or do they go join their partners in these other countries? And so, yeah, it still feels like visibly it looks a little different being out and about in Minneapolis, and Moon lives like right down in Powderhorn, which is like in the center of where a lot of action was happening. So it probably looks different like being out and about on the streets, but there's a lot of just support and like safety building and like keeping the communities going with care and support, and that's kind of the place that we're at right now. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for giving us a window into that. Is there a way for people to donate to that project?
Yeah. I have an organization I've teamed up with that is dear to my heart. It's the longest running Latina organization here in Minneapolis. It's called Centro. I didn't send this as a link, so I'll type it in the group right now. Tyrone Guzman, and it's been around for over organization. It's been around for over 50 years. It's this organization that has the first ever all Spanish speaking Montessori program for children. They have an elder program, and they combined the elder care and the Montessori program. So they're doing Montessori activities to support dementia and elder patients. They have a food shelf that they started, and every single week they're donating to up to 1,000 families food boxes. All around, just not Minneapolis, but the surrounding areas. They have, and the reason I got connected to them is they have a maternal and infant, thank you for posting that link. They have a maternal and infant program, which is for families who are coming and aren't connected to health care options or aren't connected to doctors and midwives. They're able to get prenatal education supplies. They're able to I've been supporting them with supplies for months now. And then they're able to have a whole access to like a legal team that helps support them with documentation for their babies who are being born, getting rides to and from prenatal appointments. And it's just an incredible, incredible organization. So if anyone has $5 or any amount bigger than that, I would love to see Centro get some donations. You can also, in their donation area, you can kind of put in there like specifically like, this is for the moms or maternal and infant program or supporting the food program, and those funds can be designated. But it's a nonprofit. You can get a tax deductible write-off. Thank you for everyone who was prepared with those links, because I wasn't, but great question. If there is any support that you would like to funnel into just an absolutely beautiful, incredible organization, Centro is very dear to my heart. And there's about 25 plus moms in their maternal infant program who are, just doing their very best to raise their families and have babies during this time. And that would be a beautiful way to support. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Oh, should we ask if Sylvan has a song to sing?
Sylvan might have a song for
Hey,
us.
Sylvan, would you like to sing your Doa Deer song?
So, I'll with me.
A female deer,
Sing it.
lay a
A
drop
drop
of
of golden sun.
me a name.
Then
Sing it loud and strong.
I tell myself,
Far, a long, long
Way to run.
run.
Keep your mark on the page. Sing it for all these folks. They want to hear your voice.
so
A
I'm
needle,
the poet,
long and loud and strong.
but I know the first
Even louder.
A drink of gas and
That will bring us back to do, 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 do. Look, everyone's cheering for you,
Everybody's doing the
Sylvan.
clapping. Everybody's clapping for you.
Can I do this?
That's Sylvan's current favorite song. We sing it 100 times a day.
Who do
So that was her. Oh, she's going again.
superpower?
You have a lot of songs.
Yeah.
So raise your kids with music because they listen. It's working.
Okay, should we sing?
Should we sing through it one more time?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe there'll be some other contributions in the chat.
Yes, I'm gonna. Yeah, if there's any other suggestions of, okay, wow, I see some amazing suggestions. Let's all look to the joys in the kitchen, resistance music. Wow, someone has been thinking about this. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up a little bit to Aaron's post. Let me repost it so you can see the lyric suggestions. And take this song with you. Sing it in your community, sing it with your friends, and swap it out and with anything that's bringing you joy. And remember that we are deserving of joy and love. We're surrounded by joy and love. And if you feel like you're not surrounded by it, go look for little moments of it. And maybe you're looking in nature, you're looking in the gardens, you're looking in like an iced coffee that tastes really good. Remember to look for these little moments of joy because it is so important to have that be what's fueling our bodies. Okay, so I just reposted the joys in the kitchen. So we'll start with the chorus and then we'll bop down into those and we'll see kind of how many we can get through. Okay. You gotta look here, you gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. We gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for the joy and keep your head high. The kitchen. The joy is in the kitchen and the meals that we share. The joy is in the kitchen and the meals that we share. Yeah, the joy is in the kitchen and the meals that we share. You gotta look for the joy in the kitchen. Resistance. The joy is in resistance in the values we share. The joy is in resistance in the values we share. Yeah, the joy is in the distance in the values we share. You gotta look for the joy in the resistance. In the music. The joy is in the music, in the singing as one. The joy is in music and singing as one. Yeah, the joy is in the music and singing as one. You gotta look for the joy in the music. Forest. The joy is in the forest, in the trees that stand tall. The joy is in the forest, in the trees that stand tall. Yeah, the joy is in the forest, in the trees that stand tall. You gotta look for the joy in the forest. Back to the chorus. Look for the joy in these times of unease. You gotta look for for the joy in these times of unease. We gotta look for the joy in these times of unease. We gotta look for the joy and keep your head high. Last line. You gotta look for the joy and keep your head high. One more time. Gotta look for the joy and keep your head high.
Wow.
Yay.
Give a big applause to Sora. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here to
This
sing in
beautiful
person,
song.
and Timmy and Sylvan for your background harmonies.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, and I love all the different suggestions of all the ways we're finding joy in
Sylvan,
our
can I
lives.
show them the art?
Oh, Sylvan's
This
been doing
is
some
the art that Sylvan and I have been making. Lots of fun.
Sylvan, do you want to
designs.
say goodbye to everyone?
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Sylvan. Super fun to see you today. Thank you for singing for us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here. I feel like every couple months I get to pop on. It's just such a delight to be back and contribute to this community, and also like feel that replenishing energy coming from this community. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sora, for a great song, and Sylvan for a great song, and Moon for great hosting. Can everybody please say thank you to the Minneapolis crew over there who took time out of their pancakes to sing with us today. And Sora, wishing you a ton of luck and a lot of beauty and joy in your next few months. And also, we're really glad you gave us that link where we can help support. And please, folks, check that out here and in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. All right. Can everybody please help me wave? Oh, no, I forgot. I have to tell everybody what we're doing tomorrow. And I need to actually look because I don't remember. Tomorrow. Moon, are you hosting tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be hosting.
Yahoo! All right, so tomorrow we're going to have C. Onyx Lee coming in, also from Minneapolis, and with Moon. They're new to us, super excited. If you missed anything this week, please go back and check it out. Moon's beautiful song on Monday. Liz DiGitale Anderson, also in Minneapolis on Tuesday. Serena Partridge, also Minneapolis on Wednesday. Ann Reed, still in Minneapolis on Thursday. And then yesterday was the Fall of Freedom Day. We sang with Chastity Brown and Emmett Doyle, both new to us, and also out of Minneapolis. And then we had a great song by Emma's Revolution, who had recently been in Minneapolis working with all these folks. And so that was a really great day yesterday. And of course, Sora today, and Sylvan and Moon. Thanks everybody so much for joining us for Minneapolis and Fall of Freedom Week. And we can't wait to see you all tomorrow right here on the Daily Antidote Song. Everybody please wave goodbye.